would you rather have in this game, not in the totality of their careers, but in this game, would you rather have Tom Terrific or Patty Mahomes? I think I would lean towards Patrick Mahomes in this game.
Yeah, I mean, everything says to lean Patrick Mahomes and to take his skill set and everything, but there's this certain thing that holds me back, which is that Tom Brady is one of the only people, and a Tom Brady-led team is one of the only teams to beat the Chiefs at home in the AFC Championship game. Now, he was a Patriot at that time, but at the same time, he's still playing at a really high level. So I think at my whole thing here is that if anybody was going to be able to beat Patrick Mahomes, it would be Tom Brady. Like he would be the guy. So it's really difficult. It's almost impossible. Like, I don't know. Like, I really, 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 really want to take the Bucs in this game. Okay. But you can't. Like, you can't choose the Bucs over the Chiefs. And so I think you have to take Patrick Mahomes. You have to. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, I find it interesting, almost comical at this point, and this is just me, that so many people believe that Tom Brady is not ageless. You know what I mean? Like, Tom Brady is not a guy that I think is, and what's the right way to say this? I don't think that Tom Brady is somebody that you can just go with and be like, oh yeah, he's fine. Don't worry about it. Like, I'm not saying that Tom Brady is a bad quarterback in any way, shape, or form, because I'm not saying that whatsoever. What I am saying is, I think there is a very interesting, I don't know what's the word, conundrum when it comes to Tom Brady, and I think that at some point he's going to hit the wall. I don't know when that point is, but my guess is that it will likely be sooner than later. He's playing excellent football right now, so I think it's tough to bet against him, Jake.
Yeah, and I think the thing for Tom, and the reason he's been so resilient to aging, and the reason that he's been able to play for so long, is because of the way he plays the game. You don't see Tom Brady running. You don't see him taking big hits. Yeah, sure, he'll get knocked down several times a game. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the league. That's what happens. But he's never the guy who's taking, like, huge popping hits like, these other quarterbacks in the league do. And for that reason, and because he's put so much money into his body and everything, he's been able to push back Father Time, which obviously, as the saying goes, is undefeated. So eventually that'll catch up to him, but it's not now. It's not now. I think if I think if they execute at a high level, so like if guys like Gronk continue to block and do their job, if guys like Scotty Miller have a big play in this game, if the defense plays well, I do think they will be in this game. And if they're in the game, that's scary if you're the Chiefs, because Tom Brady has the clutch gene, as he's proven time and time again.
By the way, it is being pointed out that we were having, apparently Mevo is freaking out this morning, which is the tool that we use to, feed our video to YouTube. Okay, cool. I apologize if we're having Mevo issues, but that's not really the point. Apparently, it's very close up on Mevo, but that's fine. Whatever. It is what it is.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So it doesn't. It's usually not like the way Mevo works. It's usually you're usually able to control it, but it seems like it's just like tripping out.
Well, it seems like on my phone it's fine. So Steve, I don't know what you're doing. Who's different than the Stever? I don't know what you're doing there, but it seems just fine to me. I always try to keep my people happy and placate them.
So I said yeah.
So I said yeah. So let me set that shot again, and I'll do that right there. See, I try to do what I do. Anyway, my point is, let's move on. I want to believe that Tom Brady can win a 7th ring. But right now, today on Thursday morning, I feel like my heart says Kansas City is going to win this game. And I think, obviously, the quarterback's going to play a huge role in that. I would take Patrick Mahomes today over Tom Brady. The biggest question for me is going to be the wide receiver groups. Because I actually think Tampa's got a better wide receiver group than Kansas City does. Now, that depends on how you use Travis Kelce and how you classify him. But even if you just go Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce are your wide receivers, I mean, if you look at Godwin, Evans, the way Brate's played, Gronk, Antonio Brown, who's had this knee injury. We'll see if he's good to go. There's no reason, Jake, to believe that the Bucs are going to struggle at all to throw the football in this game.
No, and that's why I say if this turns into a shootout, I mean, again, it has to favor the Chiefs because they on paper have more firepower. But isn't this what we said in the Packer game when they played the Packers, the Bucs? Like, isn't this what we said that hey, like you're going on the road, you're going to Lambeau, and Aaron Rodgers is the MVP this year. How are they going to win that game? And they won that game by making plays that nobody expected them to make. Now, yes, Kansas City's a whole different animal. Totally. They're way more talented. I would take Patrick Mahomes over Aaron Rodgers for sure. So they're just a better overall team. But I'm just telling you, Tom Brady's never been the guy who goes to the Super Bowl and gets blown out and just goes home. Like, he's never been the guy that goes home after getting handed a 20-point deficit in the first half. And so that's why I say I don't see a way, unless there's injuries for the Bucs or unless they just absolutely just blow a play or make a massive mistake that we wouldn't see them make typically. I don't see how this game's a blowout. I do think this is in the 30s for points on both sides. I think it's going to be a high-scoring affair. But I don't think the Chiefs just run away with this thing and have a cakewalk to the Super Bowl.
Oh, no chance do they just run away with it. And I don't think it's ever easy to win. And I think obviously some of the other matchups you have to watch in this game, without question, without doubt, you're looking at linebackers that are incredibly fast and physical in Tampa against a whole lot of speed. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire is going to be a huge factor in this game. If he's 100%, what's his level of ability? It'll be interesting to see who's healthy and what weapons are deployed. And I'll be interested to see how Tampa's defense deals with all that speed.
Right.
You know where Tyreek Hill's going to be. When he's in the slot and he's running a crossing route, just go stand on the opposite hash, and you're going to be around the football.
Science, bro.
But right, I mean that's
what they do.
That's their most effective set. That's their most effective formation, and I'll be interested to see exactly how Tampa deals with that. They've got injuries in their secondary that we'll talk about tomorrow. But when you really start looking at the minutia of matchups, and I don't mean to get to X's and O's and crossing patterns and 2 deep nickel dimes. But my point is...
Yeah, I like football. I like football season and all the things that go with it.
Yeah. My point is... I think this is going to be a fantastic matchup. But if you're asking me today which way I lean, I think it's the Kansas City Chiefs. And as Gabe Ledley says on YouTube, Lopes fan Gabe, how about that win over New Mexico State? Lopes up! He says, picking against TB12 in a Super Bowl, it's a bold strategy. Cotton, let's see how it works out for him. Don't know. Gabe? I don't know that it's going to work out for me.
Gabe, I trust me when I say I really want to pick Tom Brady in this game. I want him. I want to see 7. I do, because the fact of the matter is Mahomes is great and he's definitely going to be a Hall of Famer. No doubt about it. I think we can all agree on that. But there's a difference between being a Hall of Famer and winning 7 rings. Right, winning 7 championships in the NFL and having a 20-year career, and it's just it truly is greatest of all time stuff that I don't think is going to be matched for a long time if he's able to do it. Getting a 7th. I mean, my God, imagine if this guy plays even 3 more years and even fathoms going after 8 or 9. I don't even know how you compete with that. I just don't think It's like you said yesterday on the show. LeBron and Durant are on another level. They're on their own pedestal. That's what Brady's doing if he wins his 7th, because it's just that's unheard of.
Well, and I also think if Patrick Mahomes goes back to back and wins 2 rings,
he's well on his way to
yeah. I mean, I feel like you're probably in the Hall of Fame at that point if you win back-to-back Super Bowls.
Yep.
And you're the engine on the team that won back-to-back Super Bowls. I feel like he is, but. I guess my question is, as a 27-year-old millennial, do you really have appreciation for the history of what Tom Brady's done?
Yeah.
Because I think, you never saw guys like Joe Montana. You probably don't remember, being in your age, you don't remember Peyton Manning as a Colt, in his prime,
Not young Peyton Manning, but I remember Peyton Manning as a Colt in the Super Bowl. I remember that.
Well, because it was against
Chicago.
the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, and the Bears kicked his ass.
Not Devin Hester ran it back.
No, I mean, in terms of appreciation, yeah, I don't have perspective as far as like, all the great names are concerned way back when. So like, I didn't get to watch, the Troy Aikmans and the John Elways and the Joe Montanas, and I didn't get to watch those guys, But in terms of like modern day, like I would say 2000s and forward, I would tell you that I do have appreciation. I think I've seen, I've seen. I mean, I saw some Mike Vick, I saw some Donovan McNabb, I saw, those names. I'm struggling to pull a ton of names off the top of my head, but like I remember those days. I do remember Peyton Manning as a Colt. I do. I remember how dominant he was. I specifically remember thinking about the fact that I like back then. I remember watching a game and not understanding why he constantly changed the play all the time as a kid. Like every single time he'd walk up to the line and change the play. And now, like, having watched more football and getting it, like, you come to understand that that's part of his greatness, They're going to call a play, but then Peyton's going to change everything based on what he sees. And that's the exact same thing Tom Brady does. The difference is Tom Brady's won a hell of a lot more.
Here's an interesting thing, though. Like, sometimes, in the pantheon of recent quarterbacks...
Pantheon.
I think this Brett Favre story's bizarre. Like, did you hear about this?
Yes.
Brett Favre essentially telling Deshaun Watson not to leave the Texans because you make too much money, you should just shut up and play football.
Yeah.
How much of Brett Favre do you... I mean, you obviously remember Brett Favre running around, right?
Yeah.
Like, do you like Brett Favre? Like, what is your feeling on him? Just when I say to you Brett Favre, what comes to mind?
I feel like he's a nobody after his career. Like, he's a name, but he's not a brand at all. Like, he's not like, he's not like, anybody who's retired lately. Like he's not on the level of like a Barry Sanders. I mean, Barry Sanders was on a radio show I was listening to yesterday. Barry Sanders is like a celebrity, whereas Brett Favre is known for what's that brand? Copperfield or whatever?
Copperfit.
Tommy Copper. No, Copperfit.
See, here's the thing. He's known for sending a picture of his thumb to Jen Sturger.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Right? He's known for sending a D-pic. He's known for, and the best part about him ripping Deshaun Watson, not ripping him, but
not supporting him,
telling him, hey, you need to stay there because you make too much money, is that Brett Favre forced his way out of Green Bay to go to the Jets to wind up in Minnesota to stick it to the Packers. So, like, who the hell are you to tell Deshaun Watson what he's got to do with his career?
Yeah.
And then the irony is you're telling him to stay there. Yeah. And this is why I asked you this. You know Brett Favre is a football player.
Yeah.
I know Brett Favre is a sexual harasser who is disingenuous and a hypocrite.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously...
Who wears Copperfit.
His knees and joints are feeling real good, I'm sure. When it comes to Brett Favre, I mean, I didn't get to see young Brett Favre, obviously, right? I didn't get to see him when he was playing on concrete turf fields and everything. But I did get to see him quite a bit as a kid in his heyday as a Packer. And I think that, I'm not a huge Brett Favre guy. Obviously, with him being a Packer and the way his career ended, it's not great at all. It doesn't really... I guess the best way to say it is he's not a guy that kids are going to be like, yes, Brett Favre, like, he's a hero. Like, nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying... oh, man, like, Brett Favre is one of the greatest of all time. He's hanging out with Joe Montana. No, nobody's saying that. Brett Favre is one of the best all time at turning the football over and playing exciting football. Okay. That's what he is. Wow. But I'm serious. He's known as a gunslinger, right? Is that true? Is that not true? He is known as a gunslinger who takes risks and turns the football over. Now, he's one of the greatest quarterbacks the league's ever seen on the field and everything, but he's not a winner.
And stuff.
Yeah, like, I don't know, man. I'm not a huge Brett Favre guy. I'm not.
I don't know that I don't know that there are Packer fans who are huge Brett Favre guys. But the funny thing is, is that Kylie? Okay, I think it's Kylie.
How's it spelled?
Kylye.
Kylye. Yeah, Kylie. Okay, sure.
Okay. Your parents hated you. The point is, what? What? The point is, Kylie says you don't ever pick against a guy who's won 6 rings and shade to a guy who's won 1 ring. I think you have to go Tom Brady in the Bucks. It's pretty much a pick 'em in Vegas, and I got the Bucks all day.
And it's a home game for the Bucks.
But does that matter? Like, I mean, it would be a home game if they'd allow him to shoot the cannons off.
Well, they're going to shoot the cannons off, just not for touchdowns.
All gas, no break.
Which I think is really funny. The NFL's like, you better not shoot your cannons off. Is that the night before the game, or what do you mean?
And when I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
Hey now, had to get Baker in here, didn't you?
Yep.
It's bad enough his fat head is behind
Whoa,
you, and
whoa.
Okay, that came out wrong.
Whoa.
Anyway, my point is, at least shoot the cannons off for every touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, can we at least shoot the cannons off for every touchdown?
Yeah, I do it. Like, I don't know why they wouldn't do it. Isn't that the point of going to a different venue every year?
It is.
To like celebrate like the intricacies of each venue.